Kazakhstan's initiatives are recognized globally. High-profile experts comment on the country's contribution to international security and emphasize the importance of Astana process aimed to settle the Syrian conflict. According to experts, Kazakhstan provided a neutral and constructive dialogue platform which allowed to ensure safety for thousands of people. Astana process is recognized by the United Nations and multiple world leaders as a diplomatic dialogue. The event is an additional measure to the Geneva talks, as both platforms are designed to ensure peaceful and stable resolution of the Syrian issue.
It's very good that there is an alternative forum where the future of Syria can be discussed between Russia and Iran and Turkey with support from Kazakhstan. I think Kazakhstan has played a very, very helpful role in helping to provide this better alternative to Geneva.
The first negotiation in the Kazakh capital was held in January 2017, and ever since there were 12 meetings. At the last talks, Russia, Turkey and Iran adopted a joint statement. The parties reaffirmed their strong commitment to the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Syrian Arab Republic and to the purposes and principles of the United Nations Charter. The next round of talks will take place in July.
Kazakhstan regarded as an intersection of different
Development of trade and economic activities as well as investment cooperation is the key areas of the Kazakh-Chinese cooperation at the moment. In addition to large infrastructural projects, Kazakhstan and China are also interested to launch various joint enterprises on the territory of Kazakhstan. For instance, Chinese investors invested $50 million in the construction of a pharmaceutical factory in Almaty region. The drug manufacturing enterprise was launched 5 years ago and became a large business over the years. The Silk Road Initiative was adopted at that time, and the Nurek program, which resonated with the Chinese Belt and Road project, was developed in Kazakhstan. We built highways and introduced benefits for the investors. Then, I decided to use this opportunity and address a well-known Chinese company which supported me. 2 production lines for infusion solutions and oncology drugs were launched at the joint enterprise. The plant manufactures 70 million bottles of medication per year. The products are sold in Central Asia and Russia. The entrepreneurs are planning to expand its range of sales markets. We transport our products by using highways and railroads across Kazakhstan, while the transportation of our export abroad is by railroad. The distances are long, therefore the expenses of transportation take a substantial amount of our costs. The government has promised to provide transportation subsidies for us. Meanwhile, a large Kazakh-Chinese factory manufacturing durable steel pipes is being constructed in Almaty. The project cost is 33 billion tenge. Experts believe that the cooperation will benefit both countries. Moreover, the Kazakh entrepreneurs have a great opportunity to increase exports of Kazakh goods to China. Products such as oil and gas, bread, chocolate and vegetable oil are in high demand in China. The Chinese party is set to purchase 120 million tons of grains. We are experiencing an upward growth as the demand is growing and the population is increasing. Kazakhstan has become a transport corridor, which is a great advantage. Kazakhstan is setting records in freight transportation. We visited Khorgos, where a dry port is well developing. It is a unique opportunity and the competition is strong. Countries such as Russia, Uzbekistan and Kyrgyzstan also wanted to be a transit country for the Chinese freights. It shows Kazakhstan's high competitiveness. Last year, trade turnover between Almaty and China exceeded $3 billion. According to specialists, the values will continue increasing as China sees Kazakhstan as a key partner and China is a huge market for Kazakhstan. % of Central Asia water reserves are available in Tajikistan. There are 11 hydroelectric power stations in the country. Nearly half of the country's electricity is generated at the Nurek Hydroelectric station, which was launched in 1972. The station's current capacity is 3,000 megawatts. The annual power generation is estimated at 11.2 billion kilowatt per hour. The volume of the reservoir amounts to 10.5 billion cubic meters. The Nurek Hydroelectric Station is the largest and unique hydropower facility in the world. It is also the highest dam globally at 300 meters high. Currently, the hydroelectric power station is undergoing capacity expansion and modernization of equipment. The process is planned to be completed in 10 years. According to experts, the expansion and modernization will ensure Tajikistan as the largest electricity supplier to other Central Asian countries.
Оборудование основного и вспомогательного НУРЭК работает свыше 40 лет.
The main and auxiliary equipment of the Nurek Hydroelectric Station have been operating for over 40 years. This year, the modernization of the equipment will begin. The station's capacity will increase by 12% at a production of 3,300 megawatts after the modernization.
Станется на 3300 мегаватт.
Ballet dancer Milana Bukanova practices her dancing skills every day. The Astana ballet artist performs bar exercises to perfect her movements, followed by warm-up activities. At the rehearsals, the ballet dancer is working on complicated movements and elements as she does her best to improve her techniques. According to the ballet dancer, exhausting hours-long rehearsals and constant self-improvement are the ways to ensure success in her career. The young ballet dancer is one of the most talented dancers in the theater.
Я участвовала в спектаклях. Танцевала и соло, и в массе в спектакле «Шелкун».
I was involved in the performances as both a solo dancer and as part of mass performances in plays, including The Nutcracker and Salome, produced by Mukarram Avakhri. I was the Blue Carmen in the ballet Carmen. I had solo parts in productions by our Brazilian choreographer Ricardo Amarante. We performed various plays, including classical, neoclassical, and Kazakh traditional dances.
Танец, неоклассику, да? Народные казахские танцы.
The graduate of Kyrgyz National Conservatory easily underwent the highly competitive selection process in Astana Ballet in 2013 and joins the unique ballet company as its ballet dancer. The native of Kyrgyzstan currently performs at the most prestigious stages worldwide together with the ballet company.
Я считаю, что наша столица, Нур-Султан, можно назвать столицей балета Центральной Азии.
I believe that our capital, Nur Sultan, can be named the ballet capital of Central Asia because ballet dancers have vast opportunities here. There are two wonderful theaters in our capital, such as Astana Ballet and Astana Opera. There is new equipment, new technologies, and other factors allowing to evolve and improve. We have the opportunity to tour and demonstrate the Kazakh culture abroad. Our theater tours regularly, about 5 to 6 times a year, and it is a great experience.
В год, наверное, раз 5-6 гастролирует, и это также большой опыт.
Артисты, которые приезжают к нам в театр, действительно могут выйти на мировой уровень.
Artists who joined our theater can reach the international level as artists and ballet dancers because the range of our performances allows to demonstrate their skills in the best way. In addition to performances, the work behind the scene is also important. Our ballet theater involves various foreign choreographers who give useful master classes in a variety of styles. This experience and background allows the ballet dancers to demonstrate their best skills on the stage.
Мастер-классы в разных стилях. И действительно вот эта школа, которая в дальнейшем позволяет им все это вынести на сцену.
Currently, Astana Ballet Company enjoys international supporters in various countries. The theater performs unique and diverse performances and constantly produces more of their unique classical masterpieces and modern choreographic acts. The presentation of Sciences and Letters book was held in the capital of Kazakhstan and dedicated to academician, Doctor of Philological Sciences and Laureate of State Prize of Kazakhstan, Zaki Akhmetov. The book is based on the correspondence of the scientists with Kazakh and foreign researchers. Unique materials give new information on the character and research of Zaki Akhmetov, who was a well-rounded scientist. He conducted research on Kazakh literature. Experts say that the book is an opportunity to gain new perspective on the world of research language and evaluate its importance in cultural preservation. In the letters published in the book, it shows that the scientist could identify to which folklore and nation a piece of work belongs. He had his own formula. Foreign researchers recognize Zaki Akhmetovich as a Turkic scholar and a scientist who studied poetry structure. Zaki Akhmetovich comes first to the minds of poetry scientists from the Commonwealth of Independent States. He studied the development of Kazakh poetry, the way it was formed, the poem structures, types of rhythms, as well as changes in the number of syllables. The works of Zaki Akhmetovich are useful for Kazakh literature students and those who study poetry of other nations. The works of Zaki Akhmetov includes research on science and history of Kazakh literature. He also took part in the textual study of the heritage of Abay Kunanbayuli and Mukhtar Awezov. Zaki Akhmetov's research became widely known beyond Kazakhstan as well. Over half a century of research work, he had published over 10 monographs and more than 400 research papers. Kazakhstan's culture and customs attract the attention of foreigners. Student of Tokyo University of Foreign Studies, Takuro Uichi, plans to write his thesis in Kazakhstan. He majors in Mongolian language, but the young philologist has become interested in Kazakh starting from his sophomore year. It started when he was introduced to the Kazakh literature. Takuro liked the epic Alpamis Batır very much that it became the reason why he started to study the Kazakh language and the lifestyle and traditions of Kazakhs.
Kitaptı Sakay Hiroki деген bir осы универде сабак беретін мұғалімі аударып қазақ тілі және
This book was translated into Japanese by Kazakh teacher Sakai Hiroki, who works at our university. After reading the book, I wanted to learn more about Kazakhstan and its rich history, traditions, and culture. I started attending his lectures. I realized that Kazakh grammar is very similar to Japanese grammar. I think Japanese would not find it difficult to master Kazakh language.
өте оңай екенін байқадым. Мысалға қазақ тілінің жүйесі жапон тіліне қатты ұқсайды.
23-year-old Takuro Uichi visited Kazakhstan 2 years ago under the university student exchange program. He said that the 10-month visit has been very fruitful for him. He improved his Kazakh language skills due to regular classes and daily practice. The Japanese student currently has another goal, which is to visit Kizilorda region. I am researching primary sources on Kazakh poet, singer and composer Korkut Ata. For this research purpose, I plan to go to his home region, Kizilorda region, in order to collect information about him. I work part-time 3 days a week to save money so that I can travel to Kazakhstan. This trip would be unforgettable should someone could accompany me, especially to Kizilorda region, where I can find sources for my research and theses. Takuro's thesis is due early next year. The philologist admits that there are very few Kazakh textbooks and literature at his university library. The Japanese student is confident that if there is enough supply, more people will learn the language of the country of the great steppe, Kazakhstan. Ancient monuments with the emblems of the Adai tribe were found in Iran. The artifacts are dated back to about 9th to 10th centuries. Members of the Trails of Nomads research expedition traveled to a sacred area in Golestan province to learn about its history. An ancient mosque near the village of Akbien was built in about 1720s at the initiative of Shagurbat, a teacher of the Kazakh origin. The scientists found gravestones in the area which bear attributes of the Kazakh tribes, including an emblem of the Adai tribe.
Бірақ мына бір тас бізді назарымызды аударып отыр өзіміздің.
Based on our assumptions, these gravestones were made during the pre-Islamic times. This stone attracted our particular attention. It consists of two parts. At the top of the gravestone, there is the emblem of the Kazakh Adai tribe, which is part of the small horde, and it looks like an arrow. According to the local descendants of the Kazakh Adai tribe, this is the emblem of the Adai tribe. Similar stones can be found in the Shakpak Ata graveyard in Mangistau region, Kazakhstan.
Форумында да кездестіріп отқандарын айтып отыр. Бұл қойтастар, құлыптастар біздің бабаларымыз 8-ші, 10-ші ғасырларда осы жаққа.
These gravestones are dated back to the 8th, 9th or 10th centuries, when our ancestors lived in this area. Our scientists should visit this area to conduct more studies and include these artifacts in the historical archives. After the studies, we will know exactly who established the stones and when. Our statements are just based on estimates.
Ол қай ғасырда пайда болды, қандай халықтар қойды. Қазіргі біздің айтып отқанымыз ол тек қана болжам.
After completing research works in the mountainous area, the expedition members traveled to the city of Gumbet. One of the city's districts is called the Kazakh village. There are more than 200 Kazakh families living in the district. The majority of them moved to Iran in the early 20th century. The local Kazakhs observe the Kazakh traditions and speak Kazakh language.
Gumbet қаласында 600-ге жақын.
There are about 600 Kazakhs in the city of Gumbet. There are also Kazakhs in the neighboring cities of Gorgan and Benturk. I express my best regards to Kazakhstan on behalf of the Kazakhs of the city of Gumbet.
Gumbet қаласының қазақтарының несінің тарапынан сәлем айтам Kazakhstan Республикасына.
After meeting the local Kazakhs, the expedition members traveled to Tehran. The National Museum in Tehran exhibits artifacts pertaining to the El Deniz and Jalayir countries. Dishes and coins minted from various metals which dated back to the rule of the El Deniz and Jalayir countries are preserved and kept in the National Museum in Tehran. It is well known that there were several sultanates in Iran in the Middle Ages. However, El Denizids and Jalayirids were very prominent among them. These countries were developed very well compared to the others, which can be observed by the historical artifacts. The expedition completed the research studies in Iran and learned more about the Kazakh ancestors. The Mukhtar Awiz of Kazakh State Academic Drama Theatre took part in the 6th Imre Madac International Theatre Festival held in Budapest. The theatre crew performed The Spell of Korkut based on the script of famous Kazakh playwright Iran Gaib. The 1.5-hour-long act, staged by Lithuanian director Jonas Vaitkus, took the audience to the mythical world. The Hungarian public was looking forward to the arrival of the troupe from Kazakhstan since the tickets for the performance were sold out in few days. Theatre crews from 12 countries took part in the prestigious show, including the crews from Germany, France, Portugal, and Russia.
Нам безумно интересны те театры, которые этими проблемами занимаются, своими корнями, своими традициями, и поэтому театры из Казахстана.
Theaters that work on these topics, such as roots and traditions, are of interest for us. This is why the theater from Kazakhstan joined the top 10 list. We know very little about each other, but started sympathizing when we met each other. Now we begin to study our history and our cultural heritage thoroughly. It turns out that our stories are connected with thousands of points.
Наше культурное наследие, так получается, что в 1000 точках мы как бы соприкасаемся.
Well-known pianist and laureate of international competitions, Daniyar Yesimkhanov, performed at a concert in Astana Opera. The musician dedicated the event to the 75th birth anniversary of his teacher, People's Artist of the USSR, Vladimir Krainev. The pianist said that his teacher has helped him tremendously in developing his style of performance. Vladimir Krainev was one of the most prominent pianists in the late 20th century. He was an absolutely phenomenal artist. Moreover, the legendary pianist had an unofficial title of the state pianist in the Soviet era because he was invited to perform at all major events. I was lucky enough to attend his classes for almost 11 years. After graduating from school, I went to study at the Hanover University of Music, Drama and Media. The evening program featured outstanding masterpieces by Sebastian Bach, Ludwig van Beethoven, Franz Liszt, and Sergei Rachmaninoff. The talented pianist is warmly welcome at home in Europe and the USA.